Top shelf pop-up number 2.
Welcome back to the MG Pro coverage of pop-up number 2 presented from Top Shelf Disc Supply. I'm Holland Cole, and I'm here with my main man, Jason Hagan. Jason, have you ever seen a bottle of Mexican beer with a cork in the top?
Only in Napa.
Only in Napa.
All right, let's get to it.
And here we jump into the action on hole 10. This is hole 10 short. A lot of our distances today we've told you don't play authentic. This one does. Plays about 180, 200 feet. You're going to get there with a putter, a mid-range. If you want to jam it with a driver for the ace, you can. There's a little bit of a ceiling, so...
Definitely a tough ace run, and it definitely goads people into going for the ace that they don't need to, and they challenge that high ceiling. Really, though, this is a gimme.
I would say that most of the pros are cruising through this hole.
Yeah.
The percentage play, I'd say, is the righty putter or mid-range. Looks like a roll down from another hole.
That was not one of our drives, I can tell you. But that's...
so that's coming from hole 9, and that just kind of goes to show
Skyline.
You. So back in here from Dom, throwing mid.
So as you guys can see, we've got a tight race. Like, myself and Dom are at 8 down, Spencer's at 9 down, Dale's at 10 down. It's really anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, this is a tight grouping, and I wonder if the players are starting to feel a little nerves.
Dale just parks it.
You're starting to look like a machine here in this round. So you're reaching back on a putter here?
Yeah, the AVIAR X3, and I throw it poorly. I think I was...
Great result for a poor drive, I would say. That looked a little nose up.
Yeah, it was definitely nose up. I think I'm still affected mentally by that last hole, and Dale's just hanging out at the course eating pizza.
Well, here's Dom with his feet together on a putt, and he nails it.
I think at this point I realized, I was like, Dom's just not going to miss a putt, is he?
He's not going away. You know, Dom was a bit of a surprise to be up there with the lead card, to be honest. Dom usually, I believe, plays either AM or Pro Masters or AM 1. Very talented player, but it's really nice to see him today in these 2 rounds playing well on his home court.
Okay. Good. Again, and with Spencer, it's just a pretty automatic, just smooth putt. You know,
he hasn't given away anything inside the circle that I've seen today. He hasn't missed.
Yeah, pretty automatic at this point.
Most of you guys haven't, but you know, there's been a couple of little doinks. You've had a couple of strong side chain outs, but Spencer has not missed at the basket. Nice putt.
I had some decent putting, but I think you can almost see it in the body language. Spencer, when he's putting, is just super relaxed and calm, and something that I'm seeing with myself that I haven't noticed before is the kind of bouncing a little bit. A little bit, you know, a little bit more nerves in the putt.
Okay, you got a little life in the feet and in the hands, a little bit of the
whereas maybe it does need to be a little bit more relaxed and calm and assured.
Well, it's nice that you noticed such things, being somebody that doesn't play in a lot of tournaments. Chance to improve.
So 11 here, 258. It's hard to say if it plays longer or shorter. You have to go above this hill, and then it comes down, and it's one of these holes that you're not really sure what the action is on the ground. You think you throw a good shot, it ends up 40 feet away. You think you throw a bad shot, and it's parked. So it's really nice to have this catch cam here to kind of see what action actually happens.
You know, absolutely. You throw it out, you get up, you see a little top of a green tree out there. If you can get a little over that and have it hydrating just about like that, you're coming down the slope and you're hoping for positive action like Spencer. He kind of got there.
That's a pretty good shot.
You know, but again, it's one that you want to get when you're playing well, and you don't want to have to deal with too crazy of a putt.
That also is a pretty good shot. You know, that's a. It looks like that's actually above the basket. I mean, he's gonna have to really shoot that downhill to get it in.
Yeah, definitely makeable, but again, a little bit of the magic eye, disc golf angle of Skyline. He's going to be on a straddle, he's downhill, something weird. Dale stays on the trail. Again, makeable. Most of us locals have sunk him from there, but you don't make it from the trail every time. A little bit of Annie on that. Was that a putt or mid-range?
That's a P2, and I think I throw it pretty good. And then
Skyline.
Yeah.
But it still gives you an opportunity.
Definitely a putt there. But I definitely thought I threw it a little better than what I ended up with.
Well, this is, you're going to have to earn this.
Instead, I won't.
You know, it does hurt when you miss that, but you know, there's a number of reasons why. You know, your drive was in the circle, it trickled. You end up further away than you think. It's uphill.
That's one of Dale's first misses. You know, he's made quite a bit all day. Spencer.
Wow,
again,
Spencer finally,
very surprising.
Finally does not connect with the putt.
But you know, close one. It was right on.
Yeah, and again, not a gimme.
Dom here's got an absolute chance to pick up on the card, which he's hoping to capitalize on.
Oh boy, there's a vortex on the basket, this folks.
I mean, if you could see what that angle was, his feet looked like they were actually above the top of the basket. You know, you're having to go down at such a you know, hard angle from only 20 feet that you see some people maybe go from knees at that distance. It's really not easy.
Unless you have a hill on in your backyard that you practice slow putting on. That's what makes this course a challenge, because every hole you're essentially putting from a different angle, a different height, and a different stance. And so, though this card is going to walk away wishing they had capitalized,
there's no harm, no foul there. Yeah. I think everyone's disappointed, but at the same time relieved that nobody else.
Yeah, and so we still have this competition. We still have high drama here on this back nine, final nine, 2-round tournament, Pop Shelf number 2, MG Pro presenting this stuff. Here we've got the short position on hole 12. Most people are probably going to throw a turning backhand or a forehand, and with the dry conditions, you can just hit the slope and it'll kind of skip up to the basket. So you might see some...
I like that angle there from MG Pro, because it, again, did show that just on all of these holes we're dealing with some sort of 25%, 30% grade.
See, Spencer with a really good line, just didn't get the scoot he was looking for off the skip. We've got Dom probably trying a similar line with the forehand.
Yeah, that low shot is quality. You can throw it too low, and you can throw it too high. So you do. It's definitely a little bit of a threading the needle kind of a shot. Dale puts enough speed on it that even though it hits a little bit short, it gets that 10-foot bounce that puts him in a pretty makeable range.
So Dale threw a lefty Firebird. You're going for a more traditional route that I remember when the trees were smaller, which is a bit of a high. I like to throw
high, and it's definitely worked out for me in the past, and it worked out for me this time. Good shot, good putt by Dom.
You know, I know that some of the distances on this video today don't seem very far, but I would say that because of the angle, the slope, the wind, the stance, these are challenging putts. Oh my gosh, the absolute meat of the basket kick out. Oh my gosh, Jason.
I guess you could say it was a little high.
But I did not see it in that detail.
I guess you could say it was a little high, but I definitely walked away with that one thinking, you know, what do I got to do? You know, I definitely wasn't playing my best game at this point, and some of the other guys were really, you know, capitalizing, and I was trying to keep pace, and I thought I did. And
I think, I don't know, when I miss a putt like that, I say, you know what, I was a good putt, and universe be darned, okay? Like, what do you hit? Strong side, center pole, weak side, and kickdown.
Strong side and weak side.
I want to see it in slow motion as soon as those
it was just one of those,
come in via PayPal for MG for PayPal for MG Pro. We're going to get the slow mo cam that we were talking about earlier, but.
Yeah.
Bad beat.
That's okay. So hole 13 here, 302 feet. This one, I'm pretty sure this position is it's back down to the right. Okay, so same as the last round. You're going to see a lot of overhands. You're going to see those big lefty backhands or those big forehand righties off to the left. Again, just super tough green.
Yeah, you know, we call this the Plinko position. We heard it was aced in the Vintage Cup, our annual tournament some years ago. Somebody threw up, hit the trees, it trickled down and went in.
Coming in 15.
You're just looking for some action.
That's a pretty good looking shot. Really good looking shot. Let's see what happens
with
to
a
it.
positive roll. If it stops, he's good, but not a positive roll.
Yeah, so it landed 15, 20 feet short, ends up 30 plus feet far. Just ends the digs.
And Dominic with a glow eagle plays out to the traditional kind of position and looks pretty good. Kind of caught up on some rocks. Looks like he's going to have an upshot from above the basket. It was an invisible disc there for a moment. So Dale, if you'll remember, landed within 15 feet of the basket in the first round.
So he's going to try to just repeat that, and it looks like he does. Like it's a really good, execution. Pretty much similar.
First round he caught the tree. Second round he did.
Last round. I'm trying to correct a little bit. I threw a bit short on the overhand. It looks like you get the better distance, but I'm still about 40 plus feet to the left.
That's one you're going to have to earn. But did you opt for the eagle again, or did it?
Now that was a Firebird. That was a different disc. I was trying to get a little more distance on it. This is one of those upshots that you think you throw it great, and you just find out.
I mean, I had both of my fingers crossed watching Dom upshot that it sticks around because, and this one too. I mean, just hope that it goes in. Yeah, Jason, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so this is you make it or you take a bogey, kind of a thing. Fortunately, I made it.
I gotta say, I'd say 75% chance you're gonna roll down to an uncomfortable putt on this if you don't make your your bird or your par putt. Classic Skyline. He's a little below. Spencer's a little below the basket from a straddle and just doesn't get quite enough pop on it. We'll see if he makes the adjustment.
And he's probably got some trees in his way at this point.
This is definitely framed by the trees. He's going to have to go between it, looks like. Oh,
but as you could hear him saying, sit, 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 it did sit. So even though he's not going to get the birdie or even the par, he recognizes that he's a little fortunate to keep the bogey.
And big hole. We're talking about 9 down, 12 down, 10 down, 11 down. And Spencer goes from, which was birdie to bogey, right?
Yeah. And Dale, if you remember, has taken 2 birdies on that hole.
Wow.
So that's pretty incredible on that hole. That's a tough one.
That's called ownage. All right, so hole 14 is also going to be in the same position. This is on the cliff, and we talked about it being ultra precarious in its in the green. A lot of righty hyzer backhands, and like I said, if you can get it to the pin on your drive or a little past the pin, at least you have the putt up from the creek, which is now dry, so you don't have to worry about out of bounds. But anything short is going to end up with a really kind of tough technical upshot or death putt.
We got Dale, who's our outright leader at this point by 3 strokes. Throws what was not going to be a putt really, and it turns it into a birdie putt.
That was quite a kick, and it really is nice to see these catch games. So you land in the circle again. And
I changed up my play, and then I landed in the circle, but like a lot of the guys did last round, rolled down to the creek.
So here we're seeing the champ RHYNO from Mr. Dom. Looks like he underthrew it a little bit and caught the tree and stayed up.
So he makes the mistake that I made last round, but he pays a higher price.
He does, and that is going to be a challenge because I hate to say it, I believe Dom was bogey-free until this hole.
Spencer's giving himself a lot of height on this, which is smart. It's going to end up a bit far left, but you just don't know how it's going to roll. And roll it does, but it's inside the circle. A little downhill, which can be an easier make.
Yeah, and most of you guys all ended up long on the first round, so it looks like as the professional, skilled players that you are, you all made an adjustment.
Oh, and Dom. Oh my goodness! Look at that! Look at that! He got penalized for something he didn't deserve right there. It was a great upshot, and looks like Skyline was just wanting to make him hurt.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of breakdance in there for his disc. You would like to see it kind of just gyro at the basket, but instead it
good upshot. Good upshot to stop the bleeding.
So this one feel really good if you throw this in here. I've seen people throw it, but you also don't want to contact that basket and end up right back where you are, right?
Yeah, I was going for it. Just didn't make it. It's a tough putt.
I never lay up from down there. I always go for it, so I'm happy to hear you say that.
Sit. Come on.
Oh, Spencer gets.
What I get?
Of course. He gets Skyline, which is you miss your birdie, and instead of having a very makeable par putt, you get almost no look. So unfortunately, he's not behind the bush, and he had a chance for the par. But
yeah, so he's definitely not happy with the last couple of holes.
Yeah, this is
just the way it goes
pressure
right here.
involved or just random luck?
And there's Dale. He really takes advantage of that. You got a nice roll out to the center there.
Hey,
And
Dale,
pretend you didn't hear the pick me up.
you gotta love Dale's. He always plays with a real relaxed, humorous kind of perspective when you're around him on the course. It's really nice to see that.
So 15B here. This is a position we don't always play. This is different from the last round. As you can see it off to the left, 230 feet, but personally, I feel like the only play is over the top, and I throw this overhand that, it's really hard to end up right on the basket because you've got so many trees just right in front. I tend to go a little bit far. It looks like Dale throws a similar play, but that's a good shot. That's inside this circle or right on circle's edge.
Yeah, I'd say the number one percentage shot is doing exactly what you said. Get up, over, and hope that it's not too far that it starts to come down. As again, you can see that it's easy to get far on this hole and give yourself a really long, it's a chance, but not too much of a gimme. The right-handed line here it almost doesn't exist. We've talked about doing some trimming on this hole to just kind of make it a little bit more gettable, but what a line from Spencer, the out-of-towner, who just throws through all the trees like there's nothing.
You really don't see too many locals go that route, just because it's lower percentage, but it seemed to work out for him. Dom throws this low, but it's just right.
Acid in the basket! That is how you rally after going bogey-free through 13 holes. And he just aces one of the most tight fairways we have on our course.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Just incredible shot. It was awesome for everyone to see. And the fact that it's on the lead card and the final round, it's just great for Dom.
I'm kind of glad we talked over it because it kind of sounded like somebody said all air, but it did skip. You know how it works with the disc flying. You can't always see it. That was the perfect shot on 15B. I can't believe it.
So I had Dom by 2 strokes, and he's just aced it. So it's definitely something that's I'm going to have to be thinking about as going into the whole 15, 16, 17 thing. And
so, wow. Oh, that's a lucky rock. Goodness.
It was a lucky rock, but it was just one of those unfortunate happenstances.
Was that the pole that
I think it was the dirt as it leads up to the pole.
Okay.
It kind of creates this little ramp.
So this is makeable here, though.
It's makeable. It's 25 feet.
Another one of those random razzes from another card. Do you think that affected you or just missed it?
And I'm not happy with myself at this point.
Yeah, but what about the guy in the other? You know, did that even affect you? Did you hear that?
I'm going to say yeah. Let's blame it on him.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
But
about.
I'll take credit for that putt. I'm happy with that putt. It's a bogey. I guess that's a 3-stroke swing between Dom and myself.
You're right. Things are getting pretty steep right here. So so other than Dale, everybody feels okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Because he's out in front by 4 strokes.
Yeah, I think we're all a little bit surprised by that,
We
and
don't have-
I think he's just trying to keep it interesting. He doesn't
Yeah,
want
we don't have to feel bad for him at that point.
He doesn't want us to go into 18 without anything to play for.
I mean, it's tough. When a local really gets their drive accuracy going on their home course, no matter what, it's tough to beat them. It looks like Dale's kind of getting have that here in the second round. We're going at hole 16 again. It looks like we're going to be in a short position. Again, I think it's mostly an overhand or a forehand. The backhand is ridiculous on this, though it has been done. Pardon me. You basically just want to get one out here and then give yourself a putt. Again, not impossible, but this hole hands out a lot of 3+.
Again, yeah, just look at the grade here. Look at the slope. Rolls just happen.
They do. And so a common thing is it comes out a little early on a forehand, you hit the guardian trees, or you pull it way out to the left and it goes way too far. So Dom gets a hold of this, but it's hyzering back. Look at the dancing squad here on hole 17.
Yeah, so that's Scott Brown in the red shirt, and Dom really just doesn't like Scott. He was really trying to hit him. I think that's what Dom was telling me.
He does. They do have a little bit of a battle. So Dale's the only person I know that throws this line. There's a tree to the left.
That's a good shot.
It's
a
huge.
good shot.
It's a huge line.
But again, if you don't play the angles just perfectly out here, you pay the price half the time. You know, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I'm throwing a Firebird. It says 258, I think. My eyes aren't so good anymore. But it plays a little farther than that. I think that's a pretty good shot.
It looks like a good shot.
And it doesn't get a terrible roll. It's just a little bit out to the left.
That's one where you're happy with the drive.
40 plus feet out.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to steal a birdie, but you're not right in there for the click in.
No.
A righty forehand.
Really good shot by
Ooh,
Spencer there.
That might be the upshot.
That's big again. I mean, if you look at the scores,
huge.
Spencer's 9 down, Dom's 10 down, Jason's 9 down. Every stroke at this point counts with just a couple holes left.
Huge. And
the payout, honestly, we haven't talked about it yet, but the payout's really good for this tournament. I think first place takes home close to $500. Second place, $350 or $400 or so. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, nice putt.
Pretty happy with that
Woo.
one.
I might forgive you for that massive chain out center putt on hole 12 for making that one. That was a beauty. No, you're right. With just 3 holes, this being the third, these are every shot from every player matters here. And it's nice to see you executing a moment of glory, as small as it may be, when it was on the line.
Scotty, is that another bird?
That's another one.
Scotty B!
Dale, I'm coming for you, big boy.
As we can see, Scotty
Seems to think he's right on Dale's tail. Looking at the scorecard, that wasn't the case.
No, but he's always got the right attitude and making a lot of us laugh.
Yeah, so hole 17, this is, as before, this is just one of those holes that it's birdieable. Absolutely, 213 feet. Any 213-foot hole is birdieable, but you'll see more 4s on this hole than most 365, 370-foot holes on other courses.
You know, another hole where I'd say 213 feet, it's like we've got a baby course out here at Skyline. But you just looked at, there's about 22 trees between here and that basket. Dom going for the
Dom
old school
throws a
local
good
line.
shot, hits that bush. I threw what I thought was a decent shot, and I hit the one tree I didn't want to hit.
A lefty backhand mid-range from Spencer, which is my play. I do throw a lefty backhand mid-range, just kind of hit the slope up there and skip towards the basket.
that wasn't the shot right there that Dale wanted, but it makes you think about those players like Dale or say Philo, these guys that throw one shot all the time pretty much, these backhands, compared to the Spencers that are throwing lefty forehands, righty forehands, lefty backhands, righty backhands, and what's more beneficial to your game overall? Is it better to have all these different shots, or is it better to have one shot that you do a lot?
And I think it's an age-old question, right? I know for me, throwing lefty and righty backhands and some righty forehands, the options are great, but also can get a little bit scramble your noodle type of logic. Like, what do I want to throw here? And
yeah, it's like what have you practiced throughout the round, and what do you have the feel for, versus what do you have technically in the tool bag? Exactly.
I think it's what do I do well? What are my high percentage games?
See, here it is. Here it is. This is just really unfortunate.
He tries to do the right thing, which is lay up from up there, and gets absolutely skylined. Rolls down to oblivion, doesn't even have a chance of throwing the next one.
So Spencer, big putt here for Spencer.
Kaepernick! I say Kaepernick
really just
it is one knee. Okay?
Slams it. He slams it. That was a great putt.
Right? It's social justice, y'all. Kaepernick. If you're shooting from one knee, it's called a cap. Two knees, the Lewinsky. If you're laying down, it's called the full Burt Reynolds. Okay, and I would say that's the third or fourth Kaepernick from Spencer today, and every single one of the shots has turned out great.
And Dom, really good recovery shot. That's one of those positions that you're just mentally upset about. He shouldn't have been down there, but he was. So the fact that he's able to come back
and make sure
park it.
So we have a tight grouping, but it looks like going into the last hole, miss it. Dale did not miss that one.
A really incredible putt there from Dale.
Dale's out front here, going
one of
into
the better
last
putts that I've seen him make.
I'd say in a lot of tournaments going in with this kind of spread, it's kind of over, but with this course and the fact that anything can happen, you never know. And so right now we've got Dale in the lead. Looks like Jason's in second.
Well,
and,
we'll see when the scores show up, but here, go ahead, take us out here.
Okay, we're on to the final hole here, pop-up number 2 from Top Shelf, finishing out our MG Pro Studio commentary here with Jason Hagan and Holland Cole. This is 18 short. It's going to be a turning backhand, probably putter, or a forehand for most of these players.
As you can see, Spencer and Dom are at 9 down. I'm at 10 down, and Dale's at 13 down. I throw what I think is a decent enough forehand X3 AVIAR, hoping to be around the circle.
Lefty backhand from Spencer, the stable mid-range.
It's a really good lefty backhand shot, and he gives it the space off to the left, and that looks to be pretty much par.
From a guy from out of town, he's on a lot of local lines. It's nice to see that.
There you go. Oh, that got to run.
And Dale, he leaves it a little outside of the left. He likes to be closer, as we all do, but a pretty good shot.
And the Cobra. A little too much turn on the old broken-in gal.
I had an early lead, he came back strong, he had like 4 or 5 in a row in the middle of the course.
So players are off the box and closing out the final.
So it looks like I rolled quite a bit. I rolled quite a bit and then left myself with a 15 to 20 foot putt. A little bit of a bummer there to close out the tournament.
So you were already kind of feeling that, huh? Walking into this putt, a little bit of, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, I think I definitely was upset at the roll all the way down there, and
good disc,
and didn't give myself a good easy putt. As we can see, this basket obviously is on a tough position, but
come on,
really hoping to make this and walk out with my second place finish.
Oh,
God, man.
Darn it! You set yourself up for that.
I'm I'd like to say pretty disappointed, but very disappointed with that putt and that finish. But, it's just been a lot of fun to play with these guys. And here's Dale to just kind of put it away.
Dale closes
well done.
For the win.
So I met Ricky.
We're off to a good day here.
So I met Ricky in 2015.
Good stuff, good stuff.
We were at
Thanks,
Sunset
Miguel, for
Park,
videoing, dude.
the practice basket. hammering in 60 footers. Literally putting it in, putting it in, putting it in. Every 3 of them would.
And that wraps up our coverage for pop-up number 2 from Top Shelf Disc Supply, brought to you by MG Pro Productions. The way we finished after 2 full 18s on Skyline Wilderness Park's upper course is in 3rd place, tied. We had Jason Hagan and Dom at 9 under, which is a pretty solid score. Congratulations on 3rd place.
Thanks. A little bummed by the finish, but I'll take the podium finish.
Yeah, anytime you're up there, and this payout was pretty good for this tournament, so you ended up having to split about 180, walking with almost $100, so congrats. In a standalone 2nd place, we had Spencer Ling shooting a 10 under through 36 holes. Very, very good golf. Man, that guy can throw. I don't know if he's better at righty or lefty. It looked like he played a little bit more right-handed today. And in 1st place, Dale Dennett. He plays well. He shot 13 under. As you can see, he kind of caught fire, an understated fire for Dale. Often you don't realize he's really crushing it because his disc's right there and then he taps them in. But he got a lot of birdies there and he walked away with it.
Yeah, I think he shot a 8 down or so for the 2nd round, which is pretty impressive out there. So good job, Dale. Thanks for checking in with us. It was great showing you guys Skyline Park. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we really appreciate anybody who watched these videos. We've got more coming from NG Pro. I'm going by Am for Life, aka Holland Cole. We're happy to be here and look for more videos to come. We got the good tequila, we got the cheap tequila, we got the good vino, we got the cheap vino, and we don't make a difference. We drink them all. But no, I'm just kidding. Much love. So remember, if you're playing disc golf, what Great Steady Ed says is the person who has the most fun is the person who wins. So I don't know who really won today. We're going to give Dale the crown. But I don't know, Jason. You might be up there for the guy who had the most fun. Hey, MG Pro Studios!